I don't think people understand this Solana fire dancer. And again, not just picking on Solana because I'm long of it, but it's just like they're thinking that look, Solana's theoretical TPS is 65,000. Fire dancer takes it to 1 million. And it was built by Jump Trading. And the idea is you can therefore use blockchain for high frequency trading. So therefore it can be used for all exchanges. And if you think about the mess of FTX, we need exchanges on blockchain. We need the recorded ownership of assets. When Lehman Brothers went under, everybody's got a claim on the collateral, and there's 35 claims on the same piece of collateral. Right? This sorts it all out, automatic settlement of everything. We've seen that in DeFi. DeFi is a great experiment in showing that everything can automatically settle.
Real Vision founder and chief executive officer Raoul has been an active member of the digital asset space since he made his first investment in Bitcoin in 2013. Like every other participant in the space, Pal is quite bullish on a number of assets, especially as we fully transition from crypto spring to the thick of the bull market. Over the past few months, there has been a lot of focus on Bitcoin, the leading crypto asset. The excitement started last June when BlackRock, the world's largest asset management firm, applied to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission to offer a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund. The SEC has since given its green light, and despite recent price declines, analysts still hold much hope for Bitcoin in the coming months leading to the halving and beyond. Pal is not heavily invested in Bitcoin, but he's as bullish on the leading crypto asset. Pal is also bullish on other cryptocurrencies, all of which he believes could give investors huge returns in 2024 and beyond. Solana is right on top of Pal's list. The former Goldman Sachs executive has been expressing strong optimism for the future trajectory of Solana since he learned about the development of FireDancer, a new validator client for the Solana blockchain. Currently, Solana's network is dependent on a single original validator client developed by Solana Labs. FireDancer has been dubbed the long-term fix to Solana's past network outage problems. Its advent as an alternative validator client aims to optimize Solana's network performance while adding a layer of security by lowering the risk of software-induced outages. Pal predicts that Solana could rise by almost 50x before the end of the bull market. He is also bullish on a handful of other cryptocurrencies and digital assets like NFTs. We will now bring you clips from Raoul Pal's latest interview with Anthony Pompliano as he discusses his outlook on crypto assets like Ethereum, Solana, and XRP. Please take a little time to like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications bell for more videos. Everything helps with the YouTube algorithm and contributes to the channel's growth. Thanks and enjoy the video.
I'm very overweight Solana because I could see it survive the worst nuclear winter, and the developers were very active, the community was very active, and then they made some big tech breakthroughs with being able to mint 1 million NFTs for $100. And then FireDancer, which kind of changes the entire game again in terms of speed and cost. So I think that that's why I've backed that horse, and still having Bitcoin and still having Ethereum. And then there's a bunch of new stuff, out of Sui and Sei and Polygon, and there's just so many things. And the answer is I don't know. It's difficult. That's one of the reasons I set up the asset management business I've got, Exponential Age Asset Management, was because this bit is difficult. It's easy to own the top 3 or 4 and not fuck it up. It's very difficult to choose the winners unless you're in it all day, understanding everything. And so the idea I had was to start an asset management business that just invests in crypto hedge funds. So it's a fund of funds. So they actually are doing the work to find that, because otherwise it's actually really difficult to do. Again, we've all got proof in our wallets that we thought we were onto the next big thing, and it wasn't. But in terms of, is it a winner takes all? I just think we can't tell. I doubt it. I doubt it. I think different chains will be used for different things, but it will probably end up being a total of 5, take 80% of the market. I mean, XRP is another one. It has use. There's plenty of use, but it's not the best performing asset. It's a blockchain that gets used. There's a bunch of others with big market caps that aren't used at all, just for fun. I mean, you could use Doge. Elon may use Doge for payment systems or whatever, some way, shape or form. But Doge's got huge market cap, just driven by retail investors. It's bananas, but this is the space we're in. Listen, I think the whole space the meme is really important. I mean, the best meme Bitcoin ever had was not digital gold, it's number go up, right? I mean, that's such a powerful meme, right? And people get it. And so memes are really important because these are new things and people don't know how to really place them in a mental framework. It's kind of a child of the internet too. So, dog with hat is like the big meme coin of the moment. And that's fine. It's kind of pure speculation and culture. It's the value of culture. But the problem is it can die so quick, the culture of one thing, and others are pervasive, like Doge. So it is really hard to do, but my God, you can make a lot of money. And in my 10% DGen portfolio, I've got a couple of those that are just memes that I think could work, but it actually takes a lot of work. So a few of my friends are really good at doing this. They really focus on the meme. I try and look at the meme that might run for a year or a year and a half, as opposed to the meme, because some of these will do 50x in a month and then disappear. So it's hard. And I don't like people to do it unless they really know what they're doing, or if do it with the 10%, because that's one way of fucking it up. You just think you're on to the next 100x, you put all your cash in, you get rug pulled or whatever, and before you know it, you've lost all your money.
Pal is also bullish on non-fungible tokens. He believes the NFT bull market will return and be as massive as it was in 2021. He, however, cautions that the NFT boom will not return until macro conditions fully improve. Pal compares NFTs to fancy wristwatches, vintage cars, and other assets that are functions of a person's discretionary income. For many people, investing in these assets only becomes an option when the economy is in full bloom and the markets are at all-time highs. During the discussion with Pomp, Pal also establishes that there is a strong and obvious correlation between macro conditions and crypto. According to the former Goldman Sachs executive, the Bitcoin halving cycles, business cycles, and US election cycles are all closely connected and hitting their peaks in 2024 and 2025. Let's return to Pal's video as he further discusses his expectations for the crypto bull market, especially recent activities with institutional investors and the awakening of returning investors.
I'm starting to get phone calls.
Okay.
Which is interesting, right? Once you start to get the phone calls, because there's a bunch of them that deep in the space, like Alan, he's deep in the space. A bunch of them have people who are already operating, this bucket for them. So, they're always around, the Paul Joneses and the Stan Druckenmillers, they'll be periodically in and out. They're agnostic. They get it, but they're traders. You've got the Lewis Bacons of this world who have teams of people doing stuff, as do a bunch of them. But then there's the other kind of billionaire crowd, which is the other hedge fund managers or just the general billionaire crowd. And a lot of them came into it for the first time last cycle, had their metal tested, were like, God, this is not easy, but I know they'll be back. So I'm getting quite a few phone calls from that crowd as well, which is like, hey, should we get back in, and what should I be thinking, and how should I be doing it? What does this all mean? So I think that they'll all be back in. And I think this time around, they'll stay because now they understand it. You've got to go through a cycle to understand how this asset works. So I think they'll stay this time around and they'll figure out how to deal with it. And I've done a lot of work from Global Macro Investor, which a lot of these guys are all subscribers for. And I've basically proven that crypto is a macro asset. It's driven by the same forces of liquidity. And you relentlessly show that there's a narrative, which is like, this is funny internet money, blah, blah, blah. And you show them it's exactly the same forces. So you can use global M2 or liquidity, whatever thing. And then you start proving, okay, how do you use the same macro tools and chosen different assets? What are the outcome? And you find that even on a risk adjusted basis, crypto is like 5 or 10 or 20x better. It's like that. I think you tweeted it out as well. Fidelity put that hilarious scatter plot of risk rewards of all the assets, and all bottom left. And then you kind of don't realize, but you have another look, and right up at the top right is Bitcoin. I think the main driver of this whole space in terms of private capital has been family offices, because they don't have a mandate. They can do what they want. So we've seen and continue to see the family offices drive the VC business and the hedge fund industry. The institutions are still few and far between. The guys at Texas teachers, There's only a few that have really allocated. Nobody's done a big allocation. There's a lot of noise that the Middle East is doing stuff, but I don't see many people actually coming back with tickets. So I think that's still to come. It feels that, because if you think about how the world works, even when we look at from XPAM, the hedge fund side, none of the hedge funds are on like the Cambridge Associates platforms and the big platforms. They just haven't done crypto. So the traditional way of some giant pension fund going to Cambridge Associates, finding what the right hedge funds are, and having Cambridge do the due diligence and then allocating doesn't exist right now. So they don't really have a way of doing it unless you've got some sort of pioneers within the shop itself. So it still feels like the major institutions of that type. We'll see more this time around. We saw a reasonable amount last time. We'll see more this time around. It's probably the cycle after that. I think the ETF is a good thing because I know there's a lot of rogue fund managers who know that they can hoodwink the risk manager by saying, I've just got an equity. It's called IBIT. It's an equity. You don't know what it is. And it's Bitcoin, right? They will do that. There'll be a bunch of people who do that. And eventually they'll get the mandates to do it properly.
By all indications, 2024 is going to be a pivotal year for Bitcoin and the entire cryptocurrency industry. 2024 is the year of the famous Bitcoin halving, an event that has, in previous cycles, preceded significant price gains for the leading crypto asset. But the most bullish news for this cycle, according to Raoul Pal, is the end of the Fed's quantitative tightening and the beginning of a massive macro and crypto summer. According to the renowned macro analyst and prominent investor, all roads lead to more cowbell for the U.S. government next year. The Federal Reserve will be forced to either cut rates and end QT or announce something similar to Japan's yield curve control, which also means more liquidity and massive price gains for the cryptocurrency industry. According to the Real Vision founder, the combination of the halving and an expected liquidity pump from the Federal Reserve and other central banks will positively impact crypto assets and make this one of the biggest, if not the biggest, crypto bull market ever. Pal predicts we will have at least 18 months of a massive bull market, during which prices will really go parabolic. Do you agree with his outlook and predictions for crypto assets like Solana and Bitcoin? Please drop your comments and observations in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.